lot of backup. Everybody's here from Global Esports. Initial pieces of information thrown towards B main, and now this ultimate from Patrick could probably be the game changer.
Trailblazer only spotting one here. Unfortunately, Yokam has been spotted. Udotan, quick to answer. NC Slasher, big damage, and so does Patrick, who a bucky to the face. That is cold. In fact, he swaps it to a Vandal. Shiro here, timing not on his side. Gonna try see if he can flank these players. No one's watching the backside. Kalias, timing was just so good for him. Dwindled down to only 22 HP. That is overwhelming for Boom Esports to deal with. How explosive this team can be.
Yeah, Berserk's just saving a Bulldog here. It's more of a time for them to decide how exactly they're going to approach this final round or final few rounds, because Global Esports now have 6 chances at the bare minimum to shut this game down. And Boom Esports' economy is kind of favoring that factor a lot more than it was in the previous rounds. Seems like Patrick's just trying to troll around with Crystal, but Crystal, he's not one to be, you know, phased by bullets like these.
He's not phased.
No, he only turns if the bullet makes a big sound like the op. Classic bullets don't do anything to him. He's basically he's basically invincible. Yeah, he's invincible to classic bullets. It needs to be something bigger. You cannot touch Crystal like that.
Oh yeah. You know what? I thought the big guns were his thing. Maybe saw the damage he did on map 1, right?
Wait,
exactly
what?
Approached this.
Wait,
what?
Yes. The big. What? Oh, you mean the Odin? I thought you were he takes up the operator. Like no.
This goes here.
No, the big guns.
I can already see the chat going up in the whole different colors of this iteration. Well,
my bad,
variations of what you just said.
Regardless, another set play there. Immediately shock dart to Snakebite, and immediately as well they have an orb onto heaven. So Boom Esports immediately call red alert. But it's gonna be mid area is where Global Esports gonna try and approach this take from.
Well, they've kind of stopped in their tracks now. Global Esports just gonna take their slow, sweet time to finish off this game. But Boom are keen on finding information. They're getting desperate to just kind of get some sort of control on this map. And that's already actually accessed them. The fact that the Seekers have been deployed. Global Esports hear that, and they're heading into the BA set already. Berserks is here, and he's gonna just have to play a little safe.
Overdrive already online again. Famous gets Elias, but they do trade. Punish for taking up too much space there. Crystal. Location already been revealed, as so has the other members here. Poppy, whoa, through the smoke straight. Finds Dog's knife. Zurutan from a corner. Great protocols coming through here from GE. NC Slasher gonna find one before Crystal shuts him down. Global Esports showing us dominance on split.
Man,
incredible stuff.
Absolutely, indeed, it was incredible, and they've done really well to make sure that Boom feel the pressure on their own map pick. Ascent was a lot closer, but Split is a statement victory from them to pull their map right under their noses. And this is going to head us into Bind, which I'm really excited for now, because this is going to be the first time we see Global Esports on Bind. And I'm just looking forward to what exactly is going to be their composition, what's the game plan, and everything that comes under the sky with that. But for now,
you know,
Boom Esports, yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, you finish it first. Go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say Boom Esports. I think that a lot of their problems arose from the fact that the team fights that they were first initially taking in that first half was working really well for them. They were good with, you know, forcing Global Esports to push out on a certain part of the map and then instantly kind of, you know, do a ring around behind them and take the space under their own home turf. And then they play around that, and they were able to make sure that Global Esports felt the equilibrium of, if you take control of one part of our side, which we usually take, we're going to force you into uncomfortable positions from our end. But then Global Esports flipped the switch, and in the entire game, they've only given them, I think, one round after they put up, I think, 7, 8 in a row. I'm not sure how, and 9 in a row, actually.
Okay, I was gonna say, Uni, what was interesting for the fact of this match is like a complete mirror score from yesterday. 13-5 against RA,
Yeah.
and 13-5 here today as well. And I think it's really amazing seeing how exactly they approach this map. I think Split is a very tricky map to play. There's a lot of heavy, I would say, control turret mid area here, and I think they played it to perfection, understanding how exactly to take this mid area. They're very patient in how they want to do things. And they are patient. They have players such as Patrick who just completely just W keys forward, takes up space. Yes, he falls, but his teammates are there for that quick trade as well. So it can be very overwhelming dealing with players who are playing, agents as quick as this Neon.
Absolutely. And I believe that they're going to be continuing that trend unless, of course, Patrick picks up the Raze on the next map. As of course, Bind is known for that Raze pick. But hey, we've seen these teams to pick up, seen this team particularly to pick up different comps. Who plays a Sova Neon on Split and plays it this well at that as well? So they've got their, a little bit of a tangent that they follow, and they love being that different team on every single map, even on the Sin, right? But for now, there is a question on Boom's head. Are they going to swap players here? Is Lilo gonna come in? Because he did play the Bind really convincingly the last time in the previous tournament.
Oh yeah, he did.
Or is Famazine gonna continue with that race? Because Famazine didn't really have that great of a split right now.
I mean, to be fair, I believe that for Boom Esports, Lilo was only there as a stand-in for Predator Lee. I don't think he's part of the initial roster here. So,
okay.
he was there just to really kind of band-aid the situation for him. But regardless, they still played very well, going 13-10 against La Familia. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to play this same comp, because coming from what we've seen today, Lilo is just completely just filling in for Famous. So it's gonna be the same comp, I believe. At least I think so, because the last time they played was just so recent. It was like 9th November. So I'm not sure if they really had enough time to really truly change how they play. I would be surprised if they did though. But why break what's not broken? I mean, with Bind, we've seen Famous on the Bind. I mean, yeah, they do struggle on Bind, but at the same time, the amount of firepower Famous brings onto that map with the with the Raze is also something to behold as well. And we've seen it already on how he plays it during Ascension. Regardless, guys, we're gonna go for a quick break. After this, we're gonna be seeing the third map between Boom Esports and Global Esports. Do not go anywhere, because this is not something that you want to miss. Welcome back, everyone. This is Global Esports Face Off, and this is a very interesting one coming through here from these two tier 1 teams. Before going in and showcasing what they've got in terms of roster, what they have in Pacific coming in the future, they are already showing it here. Both teams showing displays of excellence, and now we're seeing a 1-1.
Yeah, absolutely. We're heading into a third map of Bind, which is going to be really exciting because Global Esports have not played this so far, apart from Pearl as well. So I'm looking forward to what they can bring on the table here. Is it going to be single duelist once again, Neon? Are we going to see a Raze on play? Or are they going to throw in another new agent on this comp? I'm going to be asking a lot of questions during this game as well to see what exactly is going to be the game plan, how they're going to go in forward. But of course, we will be having the big man, the main man himself, telling us a little bit about what we can expect from this map. Juvi's going to be coming on in just a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But Tash, Bind was just recently played for Boom Esports, and they played a pretty simple comp there once again. You know, they had the single duelist Raze, they had a Sky and Brim, Viper and Cypher. But what do you think Global Esports will play?
You know what? Let's ask the coach himself, Juvenile. He's here already. Now, coming into, I mean, when you talk about these things about Juvenile, right? I think that what's really impressive about him has been, like, I think his track record on Leviathan as well, and I'm glad to see him bring his expertise here to Global Esports themselves. Now, Juvenile, you had an incredible split. Can you walk me through what makes you guys so confident on that map?
Yeah, I mean, they picked it, but yeah, just we've had really good practices on that map with that comp. It works really well for us. We have a pretty good understanding of how to be proactive, when to be proactive, and yeah, it's definitely something that I think, you know, we'll be good on that map to go forward.
Well, Bind has been a map that, you know, you've not played so far, but you've kind of, you know, not had a problem with it coming in the, you know, map veto as well. So what can we expect from Global Esports on Bind?
A cook, but let's see if it's burnt or it tastes good. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
All right.
You know what? I like that answer. Okay, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen VODs, right? I'm sure you guys have prepared for Boom Esports, especially since they have VODs very, very recently from Predator League Indonesia coming into that day. But granted, the fact it was played with Lilo instead of Famous, do you think it's going to be very different, the Boom Esports with Lilo and the Boom Esports with Famous?
No, it's they're very similar duelists. They play similarly. It's a pretty plug and play for them, I think, and that's why you see them bouncing back and forth a little bit. We've played against Famous and Lilo and scrims both, so yeah, it should be good, man. Boom is they're playing the Gen G comp, right, with Cypher, so it should be interesting, and it's interesting to see how our comp's going to do against it.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see what you guys have been coming up with. You know, I'm not sure if it's the same thing that I remember what I saw earlier on, but if it is the same thing, I'm really, I'm gonna be grateful to see that. But yeah, I do want to ask you, Ascent, of course, was a map that you picked. You didn't go your way. Split, they picked it. You were a lot more dominant on it than they could have been. And now on Bind, do you feel like you're going to be running away with the momentum here? Or do you feel like because they had the chance to pick up Bind instead of Haven, do you feel like they've got an upper hand against you? Or are you going to continue with the same confidence as you did?
No, definitely confidence. That's sort of the point. You always want to play with confidence. You always want to play the more aggressive team. You always want to be the aggressor, not the one getting pushed on. So yeah, we'll still be playing with confidence. And I think if we can start out the map strong, win pistol, maybe win a bonus, then I think the momentum could be a thing for sure. So it's really going to come down to these first couple rounds, whether the momentum carries or whether it doesn't, right? So I guess we'll see.
Okay, so can you give me a number from 1 to 10 about how confident you are about winning Bind?
I'll give it a good 9. Fuck it, a good 9.
Okay, a 9. Okay, I like that.
I'm always confident though. I'm always confident though, you know.
All right, we love a confident man. Thank you so much, Juvenile, for that interview. Good luck for that next map, and I'm really excited to see what you can cook in that map as well. I mean, Universe, what do you think? I mean, before that, thank you so much, Juvenile.
Bye-bye, guys. GE winning.
GE winning. Love it. Okay, now coming into this one, Juvenile. he gave a solid 9. And then just now we talked to someone and they said they have a bad feeling about today. Do you believe the coach's intuition or do you believe the viewer's intuition?
I believe the coach right now, because we're heading into a map with a pretty interesting history for global esports, right? So, of course, we're gonna be expecting single. I was gonna say single controller. Damn. Okay. Sorry for giving you trauma, guys. I hope we're gonna see double controller, if at all anything.
Okay.
No more single controller Viper. My God, look at DOS9. Damn, he looks so.
I was gonna say this is the coolest intro picture ever.
Yeah, shout out to our global esports, the entire staff, man, the entire content team, the graphic designers, everybody. Amazing work.
I was gonna
yes,
say you
it is. Wise is here. Let's go. I'm so excited. Let's go. The Vise play with a neon clove fade. Yes, this is what I was hoping for. Let's go.
You sound so happy.
I am. I love having to see Vise here.
I mean, we don't see Vice played enough, right? So I am completely with you here. I think Vice... Okay. Vice Unbind. Break it down for me, Uni.
I really love Vice because, the agent really allows you to control extremities really well, right? Because that wall that you've got is actually such a great piece of information, just a great piece of utility to not just isolate fights, but the fact that if, let's say you put it on B long, right? You're playing on defense, you put it on B long, you're gonna instantly have to, you don't need to worry about that because you put it deep. The range of you deploying that there's quite a bit of distance. So if you deploy it deep, you don't even need to worry about it because you'll instantly know that there's some distance between the players of Boom Esports coming in close to you and where the wall currently was just triggered. So it's really great to control the extremities of both A and B, especially showers and B long. I'm just excited to see how Kellyus is going to put this into play and how it's going to work.
Well, we shall see. Ooh, GE. An aggressive stance here, Universe.
Yeah, they are playing an aggressive stance, but they've instantly gone back. They just took a bit of an extra step. They're like, okay, you know what? Maybe you can just hold off for a second. Crystal does have a sheriff in his hand. Oh, and once crawled through. It might be not good for him because the stun's there.
Oh, that's perfect, actually. Crystal taking advantage of the distraction set up by his teammate here. Boom Esports, they're quick to answer back. But the crunch coming in from the member of Global Esports is incredible. Coming in from both showers and main as well. Look at this. All Patrick Hu did was just become that annoying fly that their crosshair has to deal with, leaving Crystal to pop heads in the back line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was just ready for it. I did have a bit of a timing miss there. They're lucky to the fact that Boom Esports didn't really kind of just shoot their heads while they were standing on short. And now they've instantly changed up the setup. Kellyus has taken his entire cavalry to that A site, whereas Boom Esports, they're running onto B, Hookah, and all 5 of them are gonna burst into Crystal's face.
Crystal barely survives with his life, and the C's actually gets 3 as well. No follow-up, just enough to buy time. Oh no, Patrick Hu playing that corner to perfection, but Boom Esports, they still break onto the site. Aggressive as ever here. Only good for 1 though. There's Patrick Hu down. All eyes on site. Corners smoked off main already here. Now, it's just about waiting off that utility. DOS9 has 1 quarter watched, and Kellyus has to watch close, has to worry about container as well. But immediately that haunt will be broken. Kellyus comes up to the side as well. Crystal wall bangs Berserks to death. But DOS9 with that classic, a right click straight to Kellyus' face. Now Poppy here on the top side, and Crystal is the one to get 2, 3 to his name, but still a costly round for Global Esports.
Yeah, once again, Global Esports just a little bit uncomfortable with these eco rounds, it seems. They're just not able to keep their own with multiple numbers standing. It is another scrappy win. It's something that they need to kind of fix. And I feel like with them expecting how this entire round, whatchamacallit, the entire scenario of them playing eco rounds goes, they need to try and play a little bit more together instead of spread out the way they did in the previous round.
Wow, Global Esports already just rushing up forward there. A lot of attention to the alt orbs actually. Just trying to deny that, and even then, Crystal has managed to get the Nightfall already.
Yeah. They do have the arc rose towards long if they want to fight it. I'm not sure if it's been spotted, but a great shot from Udotan. And they've instantly lost a player. Throws in the Razer wine to keep things close, but Udo's going for the fight.
Oh, that's special 5 HP timing. Unfortunately, NC Slasher was ready for him here. Kelias, he's put in his thorns already onto long as well. Gonna open it, just deny that space onto Boom Esports.
Kelly still jump peeking that. He's still got the arc rose to fight here, but it's gonna be spotted in a second because he's gotten away from that angle. So the flash, I don't think is gonna help him too much because they are now too far up close to be affected by that. Smoke goes down. Arc rose is gonna be affected. He will get information that there's players here as the rest of Boom actually run in towards the A side, and it's a teleporter play.
Crystal
finds the first kill.
There's Nightfall. Set down already. Gonna tag 2 or 3 players. Not too sure. Haunt destroyed already. But it's still enough space for them to work together. It's gonna be DOS9 to fight Electric 2 in the end here. Getting the damage. Movement is just so good. Poppy straight finds Shiro. And now it's Kelias against the world. But he cannot hold on. And Boom Esports, they get the round. 2 players still alive. That means 2 rifles to bring to the next round.
Yeah, good damage from Global Esports in this round. A bunch of ultimates committed, so Boom Esports can consider this a good victory, even though they survived by just 2 players. They, you know, got Crystal's Nightfall up pretty early on, and they've built up to the Orbiter Strike for DOS9 as well. He just needs 1 more orb. But Udotan, he himself too, by the way, who's had a role change again, he's playing on that Clove. He's allowed to play a lot more aggressive, and he loves that aggressive positions for himself because he was, of course, and has the blood of a duelist.
Buying space with that arc rose as well. He already had the snake bite as well. Kelias gonna deploy those thorns. Berserk's here, his positioning. He could go for 2 even. Nearly does. Patrick who finally gets knocked down as well. Berserk's very, very patient with these pickoffs, and the rest of Boom Esports quickly teleport to the A site.
He's up and close personal. He's gonna have the first contact here, but the problem is gonna be that shower region because Boom are gonna burst into it any second. Shiro just holding on to see if Global Esports make any movements.
Oh, Poppy! It's gonna fall finally, but look at Boom Esports. The trades are just too good here. The same could be said about Global. Udotan went to his name already. Gets a refresher. Smokes. Deny him vision. Right click forward. Spots out that camera. Finally, gonna remove that dart. I think for him, he's gonna try and attempt going up here onto the site, but positions of Boom Esports is kind of hard to deal with. U-Haul's Heaven. Spot already. No one's actually peeking either. He smoked out. He's gonna try to push through. I think at the end of the day, decides it's not worth it. Let's call a save here for now.
Yeah, good call to make the save as well. Didn't have to give up anything. He has an ultimate. He can use that weapon with for the next round and be kind of the hero player for the next. He's got good amount of shields as well. Doesn't even need to reinvest into shields. 32 is more than enough for him because he can drop to a teammate with the money that he's going to be able to, you know, suffice for this round. Just want to have a look at the scoreboard as we will be able to see. Yep, there it is. And yeah, he's got money to probably drop in a Spectre if at all Global Esports decide to, you know, force him to play a little bit more aggressive to maybe give it a little bit of support system, but doesn't seem the case. One thing I think is going to work is probably getting Patrick that orb on towards showers. I think that's the game plan right now. That's why he's got a full shield. They're going to get him that win condition of the overdrive, and that's maybe what they're looking to play with this round.
Aggressive smokes as well, just to deny that B long area as well. But Udotan, He's gonna be trying to go on an adventure here out onto sand. Gonna find nothing here. Berserks has been doing quite a good job of just staying hidden, being very patient to catch anyone in that mid rotation.
Esports heading back towards long. The Arcros is there to support them for a fight. Nate comes in. The flash is not going to attack anybody. And the fight goes to Yudotan. He's gone pretty low now. Might want to decide to switch up the weapon, but he still, of course, has the ultimate. Boom are playing this really smart. They don't want to give Yudotan anything. That's their whole point. They don't want to give Yudotan anything. They don't want to give Patrick anything because they know these ultimates could potentially make Boom lose the round. And now Poppy is very up and close personal in the smoke, and he's going to go straight down.
I'll find you. The hunt up. Gonna quickly be destroyed as gonna be so many members inside of you. Oh my god! Crystal for one. Udotan already back in the game, not dead yet. Finds the corner here, gonna come back alive. Also just blind sprays into the smokes, but here comes the overdrive, shut down so quickly by Shiro. Udotan weaving in and out of those smokes. Almost disgusting to see actually. Not sure they had noted the positioning of NC Slash here, playing together high-low, and it's perfectly played. Global gonna get one round ahead of Boom Esports.
Yeah, the biggest issue here for Boom Esports was the fact that they just let Showers go for free. Denying that control, knowing that Patrick could get this ultimate, even though he had no real value from it, he did enough to create the space for his team. He did enough for Yudotan to activate his not dead yet and make sure that his absolute chaos came into control with the rest of the team playing around him. Like I said, those two ultimates will be the win conditions for Global Esports in this round, and they played it perfectly. It doesn't matter how Patrick died or what Patrick did. It's about how Yudotan utilized the space that was created by the overdrive, and he did it really well.
Eyes onto Showers this time. And again, I'm liking this initiative by Global Esports to just really feed those orbs forward to the teammates just to really make these big punch ultimates happen. But this time around, Boom Esports is the one to completely take over Showers this early.
Launching smoke.
Yeah, they should have done this the previous round, honestly, to deny any form of orb control. Realized this mistake and gotten the orb practically for free now. The entire cavalry right now on the A site. Patrick's been called to rotate over here. They've got the Razer mines to clear off any close corners towards U-Haul and close A short site. But how are they going to take this control? Because that wall is still there.
Thorns, Orbitals, trying. There's so much going on right now. Poppy from the smokes, but Boom Esports, yeah, Famous, just completely pushing through and obliterating the defense. Instead of smokes, Kelly's holding, gonna find one on benches. He's not done quite yet. Immediately rushes away, hides in the corner, but Famous is out for blood. Kelly's also falls to him. And from heaven, you have Crystal just trying to put in pressure. But they're doing a good job of staying alive here. Famous from triple, the rest falling down, and Crystal finally wall bangs him to death. Udotan finally reaching into the smokes itself, taking a lot of damage, and in fact, a shot to the face by Shiro. He's flashed already. Crystal inside, all alone here, swaps the gun. He's just spraying and praying here, but he's not getting any value from it. Time is clearly not on his side, and he eventually concedes.
Yeah, saving once again. Global Esports have to concede number 3 here. Could not get enough value. Famazine doing God's work over there with that ultimate, especially taking out Kelly S, because I think he was getting ready to deploy the Steel Garden so that they could just run into the Viper Spit and take fights as they needed, right? And that ultimate came in clutch at the right time to make sure that the Vise just could not deploy her ultimate. Otherwise, it would have been really difficult to fight in that Viper Spit.
Honestly, it's just so surprising how they just really just walk through, take up that space. But this time around, it's Famous that is the one that's putting in the firepower, putting in that pressure, you know? The way he plays, the way aggressive. I mean, we talked a bit about Famous on this map right just now. But this time around, it's gonna be... What on earth is happening right now? Bitching who? Straight to their spawn? Hello!
Okay, well that happened. Udotan's got his eye on the remaining 3 players who are here. through hookah, so he's gotten control. He can call out to them that these guys can teleport away, but there's still one inside that elbow region. And famously, now he's completely disconnected from the entire map. He's gonna have a really long rotation here, covering every single angle, covering his tracks. But until that happens, Global Esports are gonna attack the A side with full force.
They can't plant default either. It's planted behind the truck. Famous spotted out by Poppy, but here comes the Steel Garden as well. Urotan shot to the head. Doesn't really matter whether or not they have the guns here. Yeah, Patrick Drew, Patrick Drew with 3 kills to his name already. Famous stuck onto heaven all alone. And Global Esports, they make this round a quick one.
Well, that was quite the round, man. How quickly they ran in through to their
No
spawn.
way.
One of them was stunned, and of course he jumps up and finds the other. Absolutely amazing stuff here. Patrick just making up for the 2 rounds that he tried to do some stuff on, and here it finally works. He's gonna be really happy with that.
Man, but you know who's having a great game right now? It's Crystal. He's just playing in
Absolutely.
the backside. Yeah, I mean, when you have players like Udotan, like Kelly S, like Patrick Hu, that's able to play in the front lines, giving you so much space, just do what you do best, just shoot. It's so good, honestly.
Oh, Crystal, first contact could come his way.
No more dreams.
Oh, massive. Little off angle as well. This is gonna completely pop Berserk's head here. Pink Shell's to play backside. Just wall banging it. Crystal does take a bit of damage, but not enough to take him down. Patrick, who he's thinking about swinging here.
Spike down, B.
DOS9 downed, and so does NC Slasher. Famous
Ooh.
barely gets the spike back with his life. Buys some time with the Roomba. Of course, the other members of Global Esports back, but might potentially be a re-hit here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try and be a little bit careful. And look at that, the timing
Oh, they
is
took a
perfect. He gets the first, and he's have to go down there. He did a good job of at least getting one, but Global Esports stabilize instantly and don't lose more than a single player. It was an eco, of course, for Boom Esports, so not too much lost here, but not too much gained either. Now, we're looking at Global Esports to try and maybe be their aggressive self once again. They can put the aggression into more play, pressure Boom Esports as much as they can, make them feel uncomfortable as they did in the first round. But it seems unlikely by their setup at the moment. They do have Yokum playing on A, and Shower is maybe the only thing they're going to control. On the opposite end, they will have the Cypher swing by them, as Boom, right now, looking to play a bit more default and wait for some information.
Same setup for the defense for Global. I don't think they're interested in changing anything much. A lot of control onto B long as well. Still, look at how many are in showers.
I must wait a moment.
Oh, he's been spotted. They know his cam's here, so they know he's outside showers. But Boomer trying to set up a bit of informational dump towards that B site. They deployed a flash, and now that's gonna let Shiro maybe lurk in. Unfortunately for him, Kelly's got an absolute mammoth setup here. Triggers the wall, gets back. Razor Vines are gonna be activated, and that's actually a great bounce off of utility because now Kelly has to play on his aim. He's got nothing else to work with.
Pressure into the smokes as well. Shiro luckily did not get tagged here, but Boom Esports waiting for the right time, just completely burst into the sights. But Global Esports, they're aware already. They've already sent 2 more rotating over. Majority players there. Kelly S putting in the hurt, the pain, and does take Famous in down. NC Slasher is still waiting, trying to make sure no one has completely breached inside of showers as well. Kelly S all the way from heaven. Now, chip damage all around here for both teams. But it's all about finding the right timing here, and immediately Berserk goes down. NC Slasher, what are these shots? DOS9 as well. Unfortunately for Udotan, not dead yet. Doesn't really matter when you have someone like Berserk's holding on to the space of showers.
Yeah, did really well at Berserks to make sure even if he got the second, push up, he peaked it confidently. He didn't give it up. A little bit of a miss here as to where exactly the plant was coming down from Global Esports, but NC Slasher's lurk on the inside that little Cypher cage was immense. 2 big kills and nobody was ready for it. They were checking U-Haul at the moment. They're expecting that somebody to actually crawl in from there. But the problem that arose was that Global Esports had actually put the Nightfall there and they got no information. So it's confusing to me why somebody would check that so late in the round, because they knew that the Nightfall went all the way towards A short.
Aggression all around here from A short. Taking down Crystal this early.
I know exactly where.
Both teams doing a good job of just keeping each other back here. Just a dump of utils all around. Neutral theft activated already. And Boom Esports make a beeline for B side. Excuse me. Smoke set up already here. Kelly S completely just running onto the area, just trying to meet his teammates. Playing these corners. Shiro just gonna play inside the smokes here. But Shiro gonna fight Urotan there. Does he know there's one more closer is the question there. Do buy some time with that Molly as well here. Shiro has not been moved. It's a Poppy. All he can do is just put in all that pressure inside of that area. Flash as well. Going to confirm the positions of Patrick Hu as well as his teammate. This Poppy is still being very patient, just waiting for those smokes to dissipate. All eyes onto the site already. Setups and crossfires all abound. Now you only have one more player here. Patrick Hu trying to slide forward. Survives. Just gonna try and see if he can get an exit frag. And then finally, the white flag goes up and they give a round away.
Yeah, they have to just save these weapons and let Boom get away with the 50. It's been going toe for toe so far. Boom are not giving up, any part of the shop just yet. Famazine's been doing really good work in some of these rounds, and then when he is not able to, players like NT Slasher and Berserk stand up, and they're doing, honestly, God's work to make sure that, Global Esports have a tough competition here, have a tough time. The call's been made from Juvenile. He needs a little bit of time to talk to his team and to just give them a little bit of instruction as to what exactly, is the plan of action for the next 1, maybe 2 rounds, because they do have an ultimate on Patrick. That means he can kind of transfer his weapon over to another, and I'm kind of suspecting another aggressive round to come on the back of this Tash.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. I've just been looking at Gary. He's been scrolling through memes. I'm wondering what memes he's looking at. Hey, anyone want to guess?
Probably the latest patch note memes. I don't know, man. Somebody getting
latest patch note memes
honestly,
is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you. One thing I really have been enjoying is Muda. You know Muda, right?
Muda? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love Muda.
Yo, Muda, his impressions of the agents when they do the neon thing.
I mean, have you seen his neon impressions?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yo, I love Muda, dude. He's so funny.
He really is. If he had Muda memes, I wouldn't be surprised. Then you play a sad song in the back and it's just like, you know what? I feel you, Muda. I feel you, man.
Yeah. Well, for now, Boom Esports on the back of that timeout themselves have gotten themselves to that B site, it seems. They've heard that wall being deployed, so the Sheer is going to keep them back for some time at least. They're going to go for the trigger. A deep smoke once again. Nate to come on through. And see Slasher. He's going to flash on the back of that trigger, I feel. They're going to cross it all together. That's going to be the plan. Is Global Esports ready for this?
Urotan had moved out the way. They thought they had flushed him out, but he just walked back inside. Now, they would rush out and that wall goes up and immediately they put that the Razer vines there. Trying to challenge. Torrent's already up there. Arc Rose to help them down here. Urotan puts in the damage, playing so well with Kelly S. But Shiro has already breached Hookah side. Oh, timing. I'm sure Shiro had actually saw the pixel moving away here, and he's gonna try and backstab. He might here. Spots nothing.
No, they know it.
Smokes up already.
30 seconds left.
Shiro's just waiting in the smokes. This off angle might give him value. 1, 2, 3, but is Urotan to win it in the end? Urotan Belong is his playground and we just live here, honestly. Berserk's all alone. 13 seconds to go. 1 on 4.
10 seconds
High-low
left.
setups. Berserk is just gonna have to concede defeat. This how many rounds has Boom Esports forced to save already?
Boom, once again, in a bit of trouble on that B long side. Too much damage from the utility that was developed. And of course, it had to be Yudotan once again to try and save the day. Berserks, I feel like he could have been a lot more useful if he would have pushed in with Shiro through that smoke. Could have gone together, but they were pretty far apart from each other and had no time. Final round of the first half. A bunch of ultimates could develop here again. Testing Yudotan's got his not dead yet in a 1 orb. And so does, I believe, LES. But Boom have denied control of that orb, and Famouzin's gonna eat it up for himself, as now he's got the showstopper.
Showstopper online, moving at the tail end of that Trailblazer as well. Udotan, a nice swing out, but Shiro quick to find one more to his name. But Udotan has not been moved yet, not dead yet. He's not done. He's still going for blood here, waiting patiently the smokes. He's gonna set it up, but Shiro putting in that pressure finally finds him in the end. Steel Garden gonna cause the other members of Boom Esports to completely leave, as DOS9 just completely just broken already, wallbanged to death.
Yeah, and he had the spike as well. The players who teleported away, they just did not have an idea, or maybe they just forgot that he had it. Now it's all to Berserks.
Oh my god, Berserks! Crystal here, I don't think they've spotted him out quite yet here. Kellyes has not been moved here. Good strafe. Last man standing, Kellyes! What? Oh man, I'm really impressed by the members of Global Esports' repositionings. Playing off that info so quickly. And the way they played off each other, they don't really double peek in a way that you expect them to. It's big swings. It's a reposition to main. You don't expect them to be there.
Yeah. They're just aware of everything. Global Esports right now, they're playing a perfect game so far. At least the last round, you could say. Good understanding of how to rotate, where to rotate. Once again, Patrick, he did enough to just get Yudotan the 2 kills that he needed. The stun was there, but he himself has not been able to frag out the way he wants to. Whereas on the other end, Famouzine, he too is having a bit of a slow game. Both Duel is not up to, you know, their best selves just yet, but we've known Boom Esports to be their second half esports team. So don't count them out just yet. Okay, where the hell is this guy going?
All the way to the back, to the spawn! But Shiro punishes, but at the cost of a majority of his life. Udotan, he did a double take. NC Slasher almost missed that, wins it out in the end here. Forced out of his sight already. Pops that flash as well. Shiro with only 3 HP, quickly just moved out the way as well. NC Slasher has to wait out that smoke. Global Esports, they have other things in mind. They've put themselves over in elbow. Trying to see if they can catch anyone in the midst of rotation. I think DOS9 suspects this. They got the flash already, the Arc Rose. They know he's inside there, but the members of Boom Esports just completely swarm Global Esports. And they get the round.
A really confusing strat here, in my opinion, from Global Esports. They sent Patrick all the way to their spawn, and I thought that, you know, okay, maybe this is a trick to just make him go all the way there, you know, somehow crawl his way through, and then they're gonna go B because he got in so far deep in enemy lines within just, what, 20 seconds? So instantly they twisted back their ways towards B. But the problem with that is, once they found Patrick, they realized that Global Esports are not gonna have to rotate into that B side, mostly from Hookah, so they took control of B long. NC Slasher staying alive there was the biggest thing he could do. Pressure on Global Esports, funneled them into elbow, and that's all they needed to finish off the round.
He spotted out the Arc Rose, and it just pushes Shiro away from his off angle. You see Haunts, you see Smokes. It's chaos here, you can't see anything. Boom Esports patient. Jump shot forward, Kellyes answers. And NC Slasher as well does find one to his name. You can see here the slide is good. But for DOS9, he's quick to answer. Global Esports. Effort playing this corner to perfection. Berserk finds one.
remaining.
Poppy with a classic!
Spike down B.
Gonna find two to his name. Leaving Famous with only this outlaw to work with. There's gun upgrades too. Global Esports, they're not shy to take it. And Famous has positioned himself on the B site already. Anyone crosses, he's able to get shots upon shots. He has two to buy some time. Now the smoke has dissipated as well. 30 seconds to go.
One enemy remaining.
Spot one! Oh my god! Famous! As expected! He puts in a damage with that outlaw, and Global Esports, they could not even retaliate.
That's kind of what I was expecting to happen as well. He had the outlaw, right? And he didn't fire any bullets. I'm pretty sure that in 2 quick successions, Famazine could just destroy them, and he did exactly that. Was confused for the first second as to where exactly they could come. Maybe do a repeat of the pistol round where they, cycle through elbow and go in towards the A side. But no, he's ready for it. And 2 amazing shots there. Because even if he had missed one, I think it would have been Global Esports winning that round.
Here the Razer Vine's activated already.
They've taken to the B site. And Berserks is alone here, by the way. He's got to set up. Boom Esports pretty heavy on that A side. Committing to that read. And the orb being taken up by Crystal on B long. Berserks is going to call this out, but Boom still not interested in rotating over. Instead, they expect Global Esports to actually TP, but no, Poppy has made his way all the way back towards B. He's got all 3 smokes left, and he's got so much help along with him. Those tripwires, I'm not sure they're going to be strong enough to stop this 5-man attack.
Gunshots all around, but it's just to really show presence, if anything. Majority of the members of Boom Esports are all the way onto A here. The tripwire does get triggered. Berserks reacts. Good to find Patrick who? He's just quickly going to reposition himself away. With that sound, the members of Boom Esports is going to quickly reposition themselves, rotating over. Berserks falls. Now Udotan, an aggressive stance here from the other side of smokes. A nice cross, a flash onto side as well, but look at that. Coming through here, Crystal sprays. Poppy good for one, and he's landed by Crystal. Kallias from one end. What a spray transfer! What a hole! Kallias is our main character this round.
I feel no empathy for them.
Great initiation there once again from the IGO. Initially, 2 players got caught here from the tripwires, and I was like, okay then, maybe not the best of scenarios to be in, but then Kelly S jumps on top, takes things into his own hands, and finishes off the round. Realizes that they're just pistols. We don't need to be scared to peek them. Just peek them together. Global Esports clearly have a bit of, I would say, kind of have a ick towards these eco rounds.
Yeah, but for now, we're just gonna go for a quick pause as well. Now, let's talk a little bit, Universe. What exactly is happening here? I mean, there was a bit of a lead set up by Global Esports earlier, but what is Boom Esports doing right now?
Boom Esports do have a good game plan. I feel like they're focusing a lot on the retake. They're not going aggressive on the defensive side. They're not pushing out on towards the main part of the regions where you could find Global Esports off-guarded. By the regions, I mean A short and hookah. 2 regions where Global Esports are not too keen on pushing. They just keep hollow control. They hold off 1 player there and make sure that nobody's pushing off of that place from Boom Esports. If they read into that really quickly, because so far, Global Esports have only been attacking either showers or B long, and it's been giving them the success. Because Boom Esports end up fighting them in those exact same places, and the utility dump from Global Esports is so high that you're just not able to hold off their attack. In the previous round, they had a stack on that A side, did not rotate until the very last second when Berserk said, okay, I've gotten 1 kill, now they're coming in here. That's when the rotation started to come in. So they were really committed to the fact that this is going to be an A hit. Similar reads like this, maybe 2 or 3 times could throw them into a mix, but it wasn't eco, so we're going to let that slide. I feel like Global Esports, Boom Esports right now should be taking 2 steps forward, set up Famazine with that op in good positions towards maybe A short, take an aggressive stance, get a pick, and get back out. That's going to be really good because Famazine is really good on that operator, and I feel like he's got the ability to take a pick and instantly get back out of dodge. So if they're able to put that into good use, Global Esports will be in trouble.
Honestly. Okay, this has nothing to do with what you said earlier, but I am curious about one thing. Does it actually help when you have these flashing lights and sounds when you practice?
I mean, it's the best thing they could come up with, right? To kind of simulate the on-stage scenario,
The on-stage
the
feel,
environment.
the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a speaker in the background as well that's simulating
wait,
the
real?
fan noises. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier too. They've got a speaker somewhere in the background there where they're simulating loud fan noises, you know, desk bangs and all that stuff. So they've got sound cues in the background. There are also flashes light constantly above them, around them, just to give them the feel of how it is to be on the VCT stage. And hopefully this is going to help them gain that experience, and maybe we're going to be doing more of these as well in the future, so that Global Esports can constantly keep playing, you know, in scenarios like these where they're pressured in to just kind of hone their skills and playing as good teams.
You know, coming into this one, right? I love when teams actually kind of set their, you know, doing this extra stuff. You never really think about these things when you're practicing, you know? And I think that's also kind of the reason why, you know, Tier 1 teams are just so different. Regardless, we're finally back into this game this time. Oh, we have lineups.
Yeah, seems like it. We're going for a set play here from Global Esports, and the Razer Rhines are going to push them inside the shower side, and there's a reveal as well. That is brilliant, but the hold-up is great.
Oh my god! Really gotta give it to DOS9. Ballsy to be able to hold down showers that way.
He's gotten control of the spike right now, whereas Global Esports, both the players are splitting up currently.
Famous?
Which is an interesting shot. Yeah, and like I said, I called it. The operator, it was kind of obvious for them to actually set him up in good positions.
No!
Oh, no, never mind.
Oh man, DOS9 was not expecting that. He was expecting someone to come in from outside of showers. Sometimes this game gets so confusing, right? You have no clue who's attacking or defending at one point. They just walk in like it's anyone's sight. Now all eyes onto Heaven's area. A 1-on-3 here. Shiro's positioned himself all the way near the spawn. But Udo-chan, the flash comes through. It's enough info for him already. 20 seconds to go. He has a lot of time to plant. But it's a matter of trying to isolate these fights. Not going to be able to because Boom Esports react so quickly.
Yeah, a bit of a decision-making lapse there from Global Esports, and a couple of really good counter utility pieces coming in from Boom. That Molotov from DOS9 was absolutely amazing. The timing of it, because the minute he put down that Molotov, only one person could get through. Who? Patrick. And the minute he slid out, he got damage from the molly, and the bullets were ready for him right in the face. And on top of that, he finished off a player behind him in the smoke as well. DOS9 did not know that this kind of a hit was coming. This kind of set play. The set play was great from Global Esports. Don't mistake me on that. But the readjustment from Boom, Berserks, and DOS9 did amazingly well to destroy 3 players there together.
Wow, more aggressive lineups already, and Boom Esports are completely ready for that. Breaking the utility as it went down here. Doing a good job of just reading the team. They've already taken control of B-Long as well here, but Kelly, yes. As soon as that arc rose hits, they are gonna immediately react on it. Fast lane up already. And the Steel Garden goes live. GE, no follow-ups quite yet. And somehow Shiro managed to get a pick-off onto Kelly S with his snake bite. Poppy had made his way slowly into U-Haul already. The Prowler comes up here. No one is close here, and Patrick, who cannot hold on, as the members of Boom Esports find GE one by one. Udo touched by Berserks, but Crystal left alone here inside showers. Gonna be spotted out by that Roomba eventually. Thought about going inside of showers, but thinks twice about it. He has a spike. He can try to pick a pop-off hits. And I think for Boom Esports, they may have an idea that he may have rotated
30
off.
seconds
They've
left.
positioned themselves all the way near CT side.
Yeah, they're just gonna let him play his game, play for the plant here. They don't need to give him anything. But Crystal, while he might get the plant down, he's searching for a weapon. Does have one available right next to his feet. Picks it up.
There.
10 seconds.
10
Has to
seconds
go down
left.
for the
I'll
plant
find
here.
you.
Throws in a recon just to clear off. Has a smoke to play with.
down.
And it's a 1v3.
Bam.
A
My ult is
lot
ready.
of sprays coming through here. Anti-slasher falls, but not DOS9. Insane performance from Boom Esports.
I just want to point out, big
Yeah, what's
decision
up?
here from Global Esports. That Steel Garden, the minute it was popped right here, right now, it was supposed to make a fair fight for Global Esports. Then, once again, one single Molotov stopping them from even executing that. DOS9's utility has saved them 3 rounds in a row now, and Boom Esports are on a flying roll right now because of that Brimstone. One Molotov has been saving them because that Steel Garden was absolutely of no use.
Displaced already by that Prowler, famous. Have to quickly TP, but there's someone, his teammates are waiting for him. Does get tagged by that Prowler eventually. They're all on A side here. With only 2 members of Boom Esports watching over B. But these 2 players, they can put in damage. We've seen it happen before. See that Yokam forced back by that snake bite. I see the metal thrown out as well here. Shiro gonna fight Urotan, but Yokam is on the backside here. Not dead yet, alive. But it's gonna be a barbecue by DOS9 onto Yokam.
I'm done.
DOS9 perfection. 3 members downed already. And somehow Global Esports left with only 1 player left before it just pops by Famous. 10 to Boom Esports' name. And they are making their lead bigger and bigger.
Right now, it's not Global Esports against Boom Esports. Right now, it's Global Esports, first skill DOS9, then versus Boom Esports. This guy has been a tyrant for 4 rounds in a row. He's read them perfectly. Once again, what's the win condition? His utility, his Molotovs, his ultimate, and then, of course, if you get past all of that, you've got his bullets coming your way. DOS9 is an absolute monster right now, and he's been making plays of his life so far. Global Esports have not found a single way to outmaneuver his utility pieces because they're getting out of the smoke. Yes, was the first point of contact Urotan. Why? Because he has a not dead yet. The trade comes in, Urotan comes back online. But what DOS, the ultimate causes more chaos, makes them head into difficult positions, and then proceeds to find his right fights. He's been absolutely amazing so far, and Boom have to give all the credit to him. And to be fair, I feel like he's gotten great support around the site as well. The reason why he's succeeding so well is because Boom's reads from Shiro of positioning him on showers or on B site for the last 5-6 rounds have been perfection.
I agree. I mean, I was gonna say, DOS9 was the shining player from VCLSA last season, right? All eyes were on him. And I thought that this change would kind of like make him struggle, but he seems to really thrive with this team. Bit of a quiet game the first 2 maps, but now he's online. He feels good.
Kelly S needs to set up his duelist right now. But there's a tripwire there to stop him. He's going to go through it pretty quickly. They need to break it down.
They're trying to break it, actually, yeah.
Yeah, the showers control has been taken up by Global Esports, but nowhere else on the map have they shown any kind of presence. B is completely uncontested, and that's going to give Famazine maybe a little bit of relaxation to rotate over to the A side. That's why Boom have not moved an inch anywhere from that A side. They're feeling completely comfortable. They know that Global Esports have not shown anything on B, and they don't need to be worried right now. Even Hookah was just cleared off with a flash from NT Slasher, and that's just going to make things so much more easier for Boom.
Util does buy a bit of time, but we already have 1 member of Global already on the site. Shiro from the smokes. So is Patrick Hu. And Molly buys a bit of space for them to get the plant.
Spike planted.
Not denied at all. Despite the pain shells, the amount of pressure coming through here. Famous, quick to react to Copy. Gets knocked down. And the other members too. Neural theft activated, and GE, their whole positions, gonna be exposed to the whole team of Boom Esports. Slasher.
Yeah.
It's gonna be massive. And it is. Good for 1. And in fact, good for the whole team even. Boom Esports, they thrive on buying this time.
11-8. Once again, it is like I mentioned, they were showing no presence on B, right? NT Slasher had control of B long completely. He threw in the flash outside of Hookah to clear that as well. This was a very, very easy round for Boom Esports because they read it perfectly. Once again, the setup of Patrick was completely only to take the control of the front site. They put down 2 smokes on the left and right of green boxes. But then what? Where are you going to go and take your fights? You're going to plant down short, but you need some picks. You need to kind of step up a little bit. You're going to spread out in an eco round. Not going to work for you. Global Esports in huge trouble right now of trying to maintain map control against their opponents, because look at where DOS9 is currently positioned. He's got showers all by himself thanks to the flash from NT Slasher. This is, I believe, Paper X had done this in VCD season, and yeah, things are just crumbling for Global Esports right now.
Scout destroyed.
I don't have an answer at all on how exactly to execute. Regardless of whether it's a strong or weak side, they just can't break the defenses. With a bit more pressure, we already have the pit set up as well. Yeah, you have that space onto Octagon, you have the space onto the front of site. But can you get on is the question. They're forced off.
Now, Global Esports just looking for anything at this point, any form of information. And while all this is happening, by the way, guys, remember, DOS9 is still sitting in that TP. If that tripwire towards Shower is triggered, if that's where Global Esports decide to go, then this is going to be a problem. But it doesn't seem like it. Smoke's down on site for sure. A little bit of detection coming in, and Boom Esports ready for the fight.
Still have trips. Kelly, yes, just pushes through that cage as well. Dodges the dart. Nearly TP. And they immediately get denied by the orbital strike. Our pro is set up already. GE just flies on the zone. Famous! His showstopper just finds 2 as the rest just completely swarm. And that's been the biggest problem that Global Esports is facing right now. The swarm and the collapse of the members onto the rest of Global Esports.
I'm sorry, this was one of the most amazing rounds I've seen from Shiro just yet. The call to not rotate at the last 15 seconds, hold on that B side with more members than you were at A, even though they deployed 2 smokes, a flash, a Razer Rhine, and everything. This man has a giga brain working right now against Global Esports, and they're just getting outplayed in the mental as well as physical game. There's just no way Boom Esports were gonna let them get away with that. How clean are these reads from Shiro?
Chiku here, left side, stunned up, fast lane as well to give them the space, but immediately reacts off the util. Famous for 1 and so is Shiro, but GE, Urotan, and Kelly, yes, but 1 each as well. Crystal gonna be tagged in by that trip, but this time around, there's no one to actually follow up for that. Spike does get initiated here, but the question is whether or not they can hold this. For the past few rounds, Global Esports has not been able to withstand the retakes from Boom Esports here. Berserks to put in that pressure. But Global Esports this time positioning themselves onto main. 1 onto Hookah as well to see if anyone were to go in those flanks. Immediately the C's comes through, they move backwards. DOS9 falls, Famous only good for 1. There's still 1 more to worry about here. But with an op to go for a retake, it might be hard here. Playing up the util might be the way to go here, but Urotan denying any access from CT. Crystal gonna move in and out here, and finally, Global Esports get another round.
Make
Yeah,
them fear your weapon.
it's a difficult one as well after giving up at least 4, maybe 5 rounds today. It's towards the end of the game here. They finally get 1 back, but it's not going to be enough because they need to put up 3 more in a row to at least find something. And I believe that Boom are going to continue on making themselves available to every part of the map. Right now, Famazine is going to travel in towards Showers, and he's going to find Crystal alongside the Brimstone swinging out, but the smoke's been deployed early on. Tripwire has been put down as well. So Showers control already in the hands of Boom Esports at the moment, as Global Esports right now playing for a bit of default, waiting for information. A site, by the way, completely has been rendered pointless by GE because nobody's watching short, not even if anybody's pushing that direction. And they're heading in as a split push in towards the B site.
This time around, they immediately get the scout gets destroyed already as well. Now for Udotan, gonna go for an aggressive stance here, walk up as his teammates go quickly to pivot onto the A site there. Walking up with the rest of the teammates there. Wonder if Udotan would be able to get a pick off here somehow.
Bit of a stalemate. Famazine still holding up short. There is a wall there on the other side, just to hold for the flank, but his first contact is to come in. This is the shot. There comes the nade and the stun, and he's gonna have to get back.
Patrick Wu just walking straight up onto the side, but Famous still has not been moved at all from U-Haul. Kelly S falls.
Spike
Messi
planted.
slashes somehow managed to pick. But here comes the Nightfall as well. Famous moved out the way here, and Patrick Wu from the other end, just holding down the line backside. Marching out to the side here. The C is already set up here, and the sprays are true! Patrick Wu back in the game. Aggressive as ever. Berserks to worry about here. Overdrive will be popped as well, just to buy a little bit more space. Putting in the damage, but Crystal is there! Playing off his teammate, and now we hit a 10 for Global Esports.
Again, extremely hard fought here. Had to come down to the very end. A little bit of attention seeking from Patrick so that Crystal could play from the background and be the hero. But those first two kills, the C's and that slide, absolutely amazing. These two have been doing good work for the last 2 rounds. Crystal, of course, been on top of things, but it's still 10 to 12. Global Esports have so much work to do. The operator, by the way, still active on Famazine's hands, and Showers once again taken away. Global Esports, back they go towards B. A bit of a miss on the lineup there from Kelly S, which means B long is still open for the taking for NC Slasher.
Walls up, trips already set up here. GE has a lot to deal with right now. Steel Garden set up already. Fortunately, one more time. He's gonna get caught by the trip and will eventually go down to the molly. That is painful! But Kelly S is there at the very least. Walls up already. NC Slasher being very patient. But 2 members of GE threw that smokes. But the same could be said about Boom Esports here. Waiting for the smokes to do though. They both swing and they both fall. Joss9 putting in the damage. Kelly S at least finds one to his knee. Rendered so low here. Kelly S missed by a hairline for that Trailblazer before finally Crystal gets knocked down too. And now Global Esports not able to win it. And now Boom Esports will be taking the first win between these 2 Tier 1 teams of Pacific.
Global Esports tried really hard, but unfortunately that control onto elbow was just not going in their favor. Boom were more than ready for that fight. They expected that fight, and they were just absolutely on point with their positions to take it. 2 different targets on 2 different angles. It was not even an up and down so that they could line up. And Global Esports will suffer another loss in these show matches. But ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, this is just for them to gain some experience. A lot of people I know are going to be disappointed with this, but they've got 2 more months of the season, and so do Boom. Things going to be changing pretty soon here.
You know, granted that this team has just been formed, right? I think compared to the core of Boom Esports, I think they're doing pretty well. I think it must have been such a big shift as well for both teams if you think about it. These 2 teams. I mean, granted that the players from GE just came through from Tier 2, and Boom Esports just, you know, ascended from Tier 2. Regardless, in this game, you really gotta give it to DOS9 and Famous, especially DOS9 in my opinion, because DOS9, the last 2 maps, he was very, very quiet. You didn't really see him really shine like he did when he previously played on the big stages of South Asia. But on map 3, it was as though he woken up and he started just really denying space and playing off the back of utility from his teammates. It looked so good.
Yeah, absolutely. He was an absolute menace once again with his utility. He was so clinical with when to use his Molotov. Again, in the last round, what happened here?
Yeah.
It was Patrick going down to a Molotov again. So it's been his game so far. DOS9 has had overall the most impactful series. Famazine chipping in with that operator. Like I said, like it was almost...
Yeah, as soon as he picked up the op, it was over.
Exactly. Like I said, the minute they set up Famazine in good angles to get that operator, which they did exactly at that exact same round when we discussed right before the timeout, was when the game just flipped on its head. Global Esports
Yeah.
did try to brute force their way into that B side to maybe work it in a different sense, in a way that they wanted to kind of force Boom off their angle. Don't let them even come in for that retake. Pick off the most important players. But in the end, Boom realized it. They waited for Global Esports to make their move, and then were just ready for an expectant fight that they knew that they were going to win.
You know, I think it's really important as well that they managed to shut down Patrick Hu here, because I think in the last map or so on Split, the biggest problem has been Patrick Hu for Boom Esports, understanding that he's so good at taking up space, he's been a menace, and you always have Crystal playing off of him and just really providing that fire from the backside when they're so distracted by him. Now in this game, you've seen so many times how Shiro has been able to flank him, Berserk's being able to kind of like knock him down before the slide ends, and I think that's the biggest problem they're facing, because when Patrick Hu goes down so quickly, it gives Boom Esports so much space to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, right, we've got some amazing reads from Shiro in those last 5-6 rounds that they won in a row. You know, even when Global Esports was selling a fake at 15 seconds of the round left, he didn't let his team rotate. He said, just stand your ground. They're not going to be able to do anything. And it's just
feeling bad
overall
for Global
his
Esports.
planning to set up where DOS9 is going to be playing, where he's going to be playing, to make sure that they both are the anchors at the site, and the utility placement on the back of those calls from DOS9 was amazing. And of course, to top it all off, NC Slasher's constant information,
ओके गाइस, ये तो खत्म हो गया.
dipping
कल
out
वापस
from
इसको
that
कंटिन्यू
Elon
करेंगे.
position. He got so
थोड़ी
much
देर बाद
out
मिलते
of
हैं.
his utility as well. Overall,
Be-
the backline
कंटिन्यू करते हैं
of
अपना
Boom Esports
Horizon Zero Dawn.
was solid today,
Okay.
so that Famazine could shine.
Bye
out.
bye.
Really, I completely agree.
I tell my girl. On my face, stacking money bigger, going through the race, making haters sicker, get up on my case. Gotta do my thing, running solo, no pack, having nightmares where everything fade to black. I tell my girl, hold up, I'll be right back. Steady smoking out and then I make a dope track, lows on my face, stacking money bigger, going through the race, making haters sicker, get up on my case. Only about figures, gotta get it all, never slip through my fingers.